Happy winter solstice, everyone. Winter solstice is my second favorite day of the year, my first being summer solstice. And I've actually been celebrating the winter solstice since I was super young, probably since like junior high age. And my traditions of what I've done on the winter solstice have changed and evolved over the years. And I've deepened my relationship with this holiday, with this sacred day, with this gift from Mother Nature. And I'm really excited to deep dive into this process with all of you. So I'd love for you, if it's possible, to just stay present with me during this time. We're going to have a meditation, a visualization, some journaling, some opportunities for you to share some things if you want to come on and speak or leave things in the chat. And I just have an invitation for you to go deeper with me in 2023. So I'm so excited to see all of your faces. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy holiday schedule to be here with me. It's incredible. And I just want to invite you to get a journal if you want to get a journal to sort of take notes and reflect and be present. And if you want to create like a sacred space, I know some of you are like on the go. And so just absorb what you can. The transmission is here for you. But if you want to create a sacred space, I'm going to burn some Palo Santo and just sort of, create sort of this ceremony ritual with all of you. So if you don't have any sacred things, I have a candle here. I have some crystals. I have my journal. I have my cacao. I have my tea. I'm obsessed with this, it's like, I don't know what it is. I think it's essential oils, but I got it from Ejani Technicolor Priestess. And I love this. It's like a roll-on scent that you can use. So for essential oils or something, feel good, but just kind of giving you some sacred Palo Santo vibes for everybody. I always bring this I found this little black shell. I thought this was perfect for Kate in Paradise winter solstice theme. And then these dark little crystals. This is the only crystal I have that I travel with because I travel light. But I'm going to light a candle. And this is just an offering. This flame represents the light that is present in the darkest day of the year. And this light is always burning. And even when things feel super dark and super heavy, there always is a flame. It might be a little like this one. There's always a flame that's a light inside of you. It never goes out, maybe until you transition. We don't know what happens after then. And maybe it goes out then. But while you're here having this human experience, this light stays alive and it stays present with you. So I just want to start our ceremony with just this invocation, this invitation for you to let all of the preconceived ideas that you have around struggle, depression, fear, anxiety, worry, just take them and set them to the side. And we're going to explore your human experience from a new perspective, from a new lens. And we are going to come together as a collective, and we are going to ask for our divine spirits to be with us today. If you want to call in any guides, if you want to call in spirit to be with you today. And we are going to ask for deep healing, deep transformation, and deep transcendence to be available for each and every one of us. And this is my intention for each and every one of you, that you'll walk away from this experience with a new perspective, with a new way of viewing your emotions and viewing your shadows. And you will leave with a clear idea around how you can be supported moving forward, and a clear new identity about who you are and how you quote unquote need to show up, because we are going to be dropping into a space of authenticity, a space of truth, and that's personal truth for you. So I'd love for each and every one of you to, if you have an intention that you want to share in the comments, please, if you want to interact, leave that intention in the comments. Or if you would just like to share an intention, a personal intention. My personal intention for this day is to not hold back, to let out all of my shadows. And it's scary, and we're taught to keep a smile on our face all the time and to not really express some of the darker feelings and emotions that we have. But today I'm committed to it. I've been crying all morning, actually. I was like, perfect, I'm crying all morning. This is perfect for my for my workshop this afternoon, because I was just going there. I was allowing myself to feel everything that's coming up. And the winter solstice really signifies this darkest day, this cave time, this introspection time, and this shadow time, this time to look at our shadows and to be present with them. And so if you guys have intentions, you can drop them in the comments, or you can write it down. And then the other thing that I had left in the event as well is write down some of the emotions that you have been feeling, to meet my small self and show her it is safe. I can't see the rest of the message, but that's beautiful, Joanne. Some emotions that you've been feeling lately. And so for me, I've been feeling a lot of anxiety lately. And I've been feeling a lot of like, I don't know, like it's like almost like feeling uncomfortable in my skin sensation. And I don't really know why. And what I want us to explore today is we're going to feel some emotions. We might be feeling grief, sadness, just like uninspired, like low energy. It's like the winter, it's cold. Some places it's darker, like everywhere, but dark a lot of places. And so to be able to look at our emotions, but not have to attach them to something like, this is the reason why I feel this way. And instead, what we are going to do today is we're going to just explore those emotions just as sensations in the body, just as emotions. And so I'd love for you to, if you haven't already written down or just taken note of some of the emotions that have been coming up for you lately and why. And another one that has been coming up with me is like, for me, is like dissatisfaction. And I've been judging myself around it because I have an amazing life. And I'm traveling around Mexico. I'm in the Caribbean right now. It's tropical and beautiful. And, you know, who am I to be dissatisfied with anything in my life? Like how selfish, how bratty, whatever. And so I want you to notice if there's an emotion that you wrote down or that you're thinking of, and the judgment that you might have around that inner dialogue that tells you that that emotion is wrong or bad, or you shouldn't feel that way, or you need to snap out of it, or you need to fix it. Because we're not going to fix our emotional state today. Instead, we are going to expand into experiencing the emotional state. Because what some of you know, I've spoken about this before, and some of you have experienced for yourself, but as we expand to accept the uglier or darker or more shadow side emotions that we hold inside of us, and we open up to feel them and experience them from a place of non-judgment, we actually are able to also grow in every direction and feel more love and expansion and vulnerability and happiness and joy and all of the other emotions as well. It's like you could imagine your capacity to experience emotions is like a circle, and it grows like this. So it doesn't grow like just up here, like in a triangle, like just up to the happy emotions, or just down to the darker emotions. It's like a circle. So as we allow ourselves to experience and feel some of these shadows or like low vibe emotions or whatever people label them as, we actually expand that circle and we become like a bigger person. We have the capacity to handle more stress, to handle more different situations that come at us with a place of feeling calm and centered. And we're able to experience more positive emotions, more love and more personal growth and more fulfillment and meaning and all of these things. And I've been on a really committed journey since probably 2019 is when I kind of started this journey of being in the present moment as much as possible and feeling what I'm feeling in this present moment as much as possible. So I just want to say hello and I love you to everybody that's just been joining. Welcome. Happy winter solstice. If you have time to grab a journal, to maybe light a candle or set a little sacred space for this ceremony, I want to invite you to do that. And we're writing down some emotions that have been coming up for us. Hi, Lisa. So if anyone wants to share some emotions that they want to drop into, we're going to do something super beautiful. We're going to choose one emotion and we're going to explore her. I'm going to take you on a guided visualization to explore that emotion. And then we are going to do a little bit of breath work. And then we are going to share some of our experiences and what we have, experienced during this process. Because the first time I did this process, I was like blown away by what happened, what transpired for me, how things sort of like shifted energetically for me. And so I hope that you all have a similar experience. So if there's one emotion that you have in mind, I would love for you to write that down. And sometimes it's like, I don't know exactly what the emotion is, but I feel like sensations in my body. Like I said, I felt like this like feeling itchy and uncomfortable, like in my skin sensation. I'm not really sure what emotion that is, but it's a feeling, it's a sensation, it's a feeling that I'm having. So it could even be something like that. You know what I mean? You just, frustration, that's a good one. So it could just be something that you're like experiencing in your body. You don't know exactly what emotion it is. And it's just kind of like there and it's just kind of like present. Overwhelm, that's another good one. And so what I want to do for this visualization is I want to invite you to choose one. We're going to explore one, but you can use this process for other ones. You're going to have the replay to this. You can even go back to this exact moment in the replay and just play this again. Irritated, that's a really good one. No peace, confusion, that's a really good one. So all of these are good. The great thing is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be celebrating emotions. Yay, we're feeling confusion and frustration and undervalued. We're feeling undervalued. I can relate to that one actually in some contexts as well. I've had that emotion come up as well. So yes, all of these are beautiful and we want to welcome them in. We want to welcome them with open arms and say, you're welcome here. You don't have to hide and pretend like I'm super happy all the time. Happy holidays, everything's perfect. We get to just feel whatever's really coming up. Boredom. Yes, I can relate to that sometimes as well. Like I'll be super busy, like you're saying, Allison, and I'll still be like feeling bored. Like, what is the matter with me? But that's frustration in a hurry. Yeah, that's the magic of this practice right now, because we're going to deep dive into these emotions and we're going to give them an opportunity to speak and to be heard and to be felt and to be experienced instead of pushing them down and I'll deal with that later and it's not important and I just need to get over this and move forward and be happy and be super motivated and high vibe all the time. Like this is feeling low and uninspired. I have been feeling that a lot, Lynch. I've been feeling like laying around doing nothing. Self-judgment. Yes. And I feel like a lot of these emotions that we're writing down also result in self-judgment. You know what I mean? Okay. So let's get started. You can get comfortable. You can close your eyes if you want to. You can not close your eyes if you don't want to, but I usually do this like closing eyes. You can even lay down if you wanted to, if that felt good, or just sit comfortably in your meditation. And we're going to guide ourselves into our heart space to connect with one of these emotions. So you can choose one feeling that you've been having that has just been sort of present for a while. And I want you to just allow this feeling in, soften the body, soften the face and the jaw, and start to welcome this sensation into the body. And it might make you feel more like hot or like fidgety or something. And that's totally fine. Whatever you're experiencing is perfect. And I want you to think about this emotion in maybe the way that you have been thinking about it. Like maybe it's attached to a situation or a person or something in your past. And we're going to take these thoughts and we're going to imagine that we can just pull them out of our brain like a ticket or like a piece of paper. And we're going to place it into a box. And this is a wooden box. We're going to take these little like cards that have our thoughts. We're taking them out of our mind and we're placing them into this box. And we're going to close the lid to this wooden box and we're just going to set them aside for a moment. And we can imagine ourselves as a little light inside of our mind. So imagine this is like your ego, or this is your essence. There's a little light inside of your mind that has been running wild with all of these thoughts about this emotion, about this sensation in the body. And we're going to take this light and we're going to imagine that in the back of the skull, the back of your head, along your spinal column, there's a little spiral staircase. And so we're going to move out of the mind, down the spinal column, moving down this spiral staircase through the back of the head and the back of the neck, traveling down nice and slow. Feel the healing effects of moving your energy out of the mind down into the heart. We're going to open up the door of the back of our hearts when we get there. So when you get to the back of the heart, you can step off of the spiral staircase. And you can open the door to the back of your heart. And as you walk into this vulnerable space, it is bright red and pink, and it's warm. And it feels like a cave-like energy. And it feels very raw and very open and very vulnerable. And you notice on the floor of the cave of your heart, there are two cushions facing each other. And you sit down on one of the cushions in a meditative posture. Take a few breaths as you invite this emotion to come and sit in front of you. And as we invite her to come into the cave of the heart, we notice that she is also a little identity, just like we are, maybe a different version of ourselves, maybe a younger version. Maybe she looks totally different than us. But just notice her as she comes into the cave of the heart. And her name is the emotion that you called in, that you've evoked. Notice what she's wearing, notice her posture. And allow her to sit across from you in the cave of your heart. Just take a moment to feel the energy here. Take a moment to really connect with her. Look into her eyes and thank her for being here with you today. And once you've sort of adapted to this energy, it might be very intense. You might feel emotional. Your heart might feel like it's expanding. Once you've really dropped into this vibration, you can ask her, do you have a message for me at this time? Breathing in and out of the heart space. Notice what answers come through. And then once she's answered, or maybe she's still thinking, and you want to give her time to answer. But once you feel like you've heard this message, I want you to thank her for coming as the messenger, for being with you on this journey. Breathing into the heart space, you can ask her one more question. Do you have a lesson for me during this lifetime. Just feel in your body for the answer. Remembering to stay in the heart and out of the head. Allow yourself to expand to receive her messages. Allow your energy field in your body to expand, to fully receive these messages from this aspect of you. And now I invite you to thank her. Thank her for her presence here in your life. Honor her for showing up when she needs to. And promise her that you will listen to the subtle cues that she is sending you through your body so that you two can work together and co-create a more expansive, fulfilling, abundant life. Breathing into your heart space. Now you can close this ceremony with her, with maybe a hug, or maybe you two touch palms. You promise to be there and support each other. And I want you to feel this deep appreciation filling the cave of the heart. Appreciation for this aspect of yourself that maybe you judged at one point. Maybe you found flaws. I want you to really allow yourself to feel gratitude. And you can remember all the times this emotion has visited you. Maybe you can't remember every time, but the ones that really stand out, sort of bring yourself back through these different times when you felt this emotion, and feel grateful for this. Feel this deep appreciation and thankfulness for this way that your body sends messages to you, letting you know what is in alignment for you, letting you know how to navigate. Now we'll place the hands on the heart. You can place both palms on your chest or whatever feels good for you, however you want to place your hands on your heart. Now I want you to feel this emotion moving through your hands, up your arms, down your back, into your hips and legs, up through the back of the neck, into the crown of the head. Just feel this emotion flooding the body. And we're going to bring ourselves into this present moment of appreciation of this emotion, of this state, through our breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. I want to invite you to do a circular breath. So as you breathe in, as soon as you fully inhale, you immediately begin to breathe out. As soon as you're done with the exhale, you immediately breathe in. So a circular breath where there are no pauses. You're continually moving the oxygen through the body. Aiming to have the inhale and the exhale the same length and breadth. The inhale and exhale can be long and drawn out or short. and fast, whatever feels good for your body right now, as you experience this emotion. So allow every cell to feel this feeling, this sensation within the body, staying out of the head, and the reasons why this emotion is here, but simply experiencing the sensation. And whatever comes through for you at this time is perfect. If you feel emotional, or you feel tense, or you feel relaxed, whatever's coming through is perfect. Just allow yourself to experience this moment right now, this one, this present moment. And experience these emotions within this present moment. And as you continue to breathe in and out in this circular breath, feel your energy expanding to be able to hold this energy, hold this vibration. I invite you to feel the space around your body, the energy around the body, expanding and opening and softening to receive this emotion, to receive this feeling. Now we'll bring the palms together to touch in prayer position or Anjali Mudra. Feeling the energy between the fingertips as they touch each other. Now we'll rub the palms, creating some friction between the hands as you rub your palms together. When the palms are toasty warm, we will cup the eyes. And we will place the hands over the eye sockets with the heel of the hand on our cheekbones, the fingers draping over the forehead, and just feel the warmth of your palms over your eyes. And if your eyes were closed, you can now blink them open slowly. And we'll slowly release the hands. And if there's anything that you want to write, if you remember the messages that your emotion sent you, if you want to write those down, and you want to log what they are, there is a beautiful invitation for us as we do this deep inner work, as we really acknowledge and deep dive into the inner caverns of our heart. And this is not, I know we feel like it's something that we're just doing alone, but actually the thing that I wanted to share with everyone today on this Zoom that I wasn't expecting to share, but it's been coming through so strongly for me this week. And I find that it's very relevant with everything that my clients are going through, every one of my friends. Like, I feel like this message is like very strong for 2023. And I'm still learning how to embody this. But as we go deep and we really reflect on our inner state and we become vulnerable with ourselves, the invitation is not to pull away and be isolated and be alone. Because inside of us, if we go deep enough, we realize that this is where our connection lies. Our connection to the divine, our connection to our inner voice, our intuition, and our connection to others as well, because we connect through our heart. And so as I've been exploring more deeply my emotions in the present moment, the message that has been coming through so clearly is that I don't need to do this work alone, that I don't need to suffer alone, that I don't need to struggle alone, that I don't need to do all these things alone. And I think this is going to break the pattern that our society's created, that's told us that we always have to be happy and like just put a smile on it, and like if you're not feeling good, you better get medicated because you're supposed to feel good all the time. And when we can reach out and ask for help. And so this is the really challenging piece. And I'm going to deepen into this in a lot of my workshops in 2023. I'm going to be hosting, like every month, I'm going to host 4 workshops that have a similar theme. And the theme for January is going to be really dropping into this new way, this new paradigm way of setting goals, because everyone's like making New Year's resolutions, you know, and how it doesn't need to be the way that it used to be anymore. It gets to be coming from a place where you can be supported by other people, where you can ask for help. And most importantly, you can ask yourself and your inner guidance for help, because we all have access to our intuition, and our intuition knows best. And our intuition usually speaks first. Our heart reacts to questions quicker than our mind. When they do like scientific studies and they put, they check like the electricity moving through the body, the heart is like the first to react. It's the first thing to respond. And we're not listening to our heart. We are getting up into our head. We're trying to figure everything out. We're trying to figure out our goals for the year. We're trying to figure out, you know, how we're going to accomplish things and check things off our to-do list and all that stuff. But if we can tap into our heart's vibration and we can tap into our intuition, we're going to have access to things that we couldn't figure out on the mental plane, because we're going to have access to the power of all of us being connected, all of us being one consciousness. And that's why we see things happening in waves. People are going through things together, and you talk to your friend that lives on the other side of the country and they're having the same experience as you. It's because we are connected on this subtle plane, and our heart has a huge vibration. If you like look into like research by like the Heart Math Institute, and they have an app and all this stuff, you can really start to see like the electrical field of the heart is much bigger than our physical body. It's like out there, and it's connecting with other people, and it's connecting with other energies. And this is it seems very esoteric, but it's actually getting more and more backed by science. And it's something that there are tools that we can use to tap into understanding our intuition and understanding our inner guidance and understanding how to trust ourselves ultimately. And I'm like a super big non-planner, just taking it week by week or month by month, and not pushing my goals or ideas of what I think need to happen too far into the future. Because when you do this, you block your ability to act off intuition and act from your inner guidance. And so the new paradigm way of setting goals is completely different from the old masculine way that we have been taught. And the theme that's really going to be running through all of these workshops is this practice of being able to identify what you're feeling is a key thing, because it can be hard sometimes. Like I said, sometimes it's like just a sensation in the body. You're like, I'm just like irritated or frustrated, but I don't even know exactly like if those are the exact emotions. Like it feels different. But being able to tune in with and identify those sensations in the body and listen to them, ask them if you need to do like even a meditation like this, like ask them like, what is it that you're here to share with me? Like, what do you need? What is your message? What is your lesson? And from that information, from just communing with yourself, being able to directly ask others for the help that you need. Because when we can really get clear about what it is that we're actually feeling and what it is that feeling, like where is the gap? Why do we feel like this feeling keeps coming back? It's like knocking on our door. Like, there's something I need to tell you. There's something I need to tell you. And we're like not listening. And if we can quiet ourselves and we can listen, there's an action step. There is something to do or something to ask for. You can there's a request that you can make to somebody, maybe to yourself, and there's a next step. And it's very clear. But most of us are so disconnected from how we're actually feeling. We're just in our head trying to figure it out from our fear-based beliefs, from our monkey mind, from our mucky monkey mind. And we are not tuned in to this subtle vibration that is here guiding us in every single moment. And when we're irritated, it's to tell us something, like something is not working. We need to bring something up. We need to ask for something. We need to talk about something. There is an action. So yes, it's all about stillness, and this time of year is a great time to like really dive into that stillness and explore that. But on the other side of that, where like the New Year's resolution trend comes from, is this invitation to take some action, to do something with that information. You had this time to reflect, to introspect. You learned something about yourself, and now this is an opportunity for you to take the next step, to take the next action. So if you guys are interested in any of the workshops, you can go to kateinparadise.com/workshop, and you can find out about those January workshops. There's going to be 4 of them. We're going to be deep diving into how to, like, practical steps, like how you can tune into that inner vibration and take that aligned action. So if you're interested, you can go to kateinparadise.com/workshop. But I would love to open up the Zoom now. And there's 19 of you on here live with me. I love all of you. I love seeing your faces, those of you that have your video on. And everyone else, I love seeing your little emoji con or whatever is there. But if you guys want to unmute yourself, you don't have to raise your hand. You can just unmute yourself and start talking. And if you want to share something that came through for you from this giving space to this emotion. Was it one of the questions you asked, one of the answers, or something that you want to share? I'd love to just have this be a safe space for you to just share what you're really feeling, the emotion that you're really feeling, and what came through by creating some space for her to speak with you.
I'd like to share.
Yes.
I have had frustration and impatience coming up for really a long time. But I kind of, the main place I notice it, especially, is when I'm driving. Like, that's my safe space for any anger and frustration and impatience to sort of just channel out. And so I've been observing this for a while, but when I went in with this process, that emotion showed herself as like a ragged, exhausted young girl. And her message was that she's an energy leak and she's trying to stay by me and be loyal. And she feels she can't keep up. And I've been having a pain in my left wrist. And when she said that, my left wrist like flared. So that gives me more clues about this message. And she craves stillness and attention, and she wants to control things to feel better. So I feel right away. So this is a combination of shadow and light. And then my response to her initially was, "You annoy me. You go counter to my mission, like, get out of here." So integrating that, I feel like she's representing the energy of stillness, which is part of me. And then I have in my connecting with my gifts of color and creativity, and that's showing me that I need to be in motion to connect with that. So I think what it's showing me is coming into balance with these is she's a healthy stillness, not holding back and trying to control, but a healthy stillness in the present will balance this, that part of me that's always zooming out and exploring all that big energy space, our giant bubbles of light that we are. So that was really lovely. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing, Katie. Such a powerful, like, so many messages came through. So powerful.
I'll go. I was dealing. Hi. I was dealing with fears of, or like feelings of abandonment that have been coming up really off, like strongly for me. And so when during the meditation, there was like this woman that came out that was kind of like constantly falling apart and constantly fixing herself over and over and over. And just kind of like that instability of having to solve things, to be in kind of like a state that's falling apart and having to like recreate yourself constantly. And I got a message about a circle, which I'm not totally sure about. But then also, the other thing that was shown to me was like the feeling of abandonment, kind of like devouring and like eating the people that I felt had abandoned me. And so in a way that was like kind of a way to, so it's like a feeling of like definitely being acted upon, but also that there's some actions there where I choose, to protect myself by kind of like removing these people from my life. And that is like one of the strengths that emotion gives me. So.
Wow, so much there. It's really powerful, Mississippi. Is there anyone else that's feeling called to share?
I'll go.
Yes.
Yeah. So what came up for me was the feeling of undervalued, and over time, like this young girl keeps showing up in a sense where I don't think I've still really awoken all of my gifts. And I keep going into these workplaces that aren't valuing me. And so it's like this, I feel like this young part of me that needs nurturing and love, but then also just to like wake up and really get your message out there more and start serving with the gifts that you have and you've already helped people with.
Yeah. So do you feel like you can give that younger version of you some of that nurturing that she needs?
Yeah. I've definitely done a lot of inner child work the past few months, so I feel like it's gotten a lot of love. But I do feel like when I speak up in these workplaces, it's not really heard or seen. So I feel like I'm just getting that message to just keep making waves on getting your services out there on your own more.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And sometimes I've noticed like the external can be a reflection of our internal. So if there's a part of us that's feeling like uncertain or like scared, like they will manifest in people not seeing us or appreciating us in the way that we want it to be seen or appreciated,
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes it can be, I know for myself, it was like, I was like, why are people not taking me more seriously? But then when I really like teased at her, I wasn't taking myself seriously.
Okay, yeah.
What was being reflected back to me.
I can feel that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely that's something that came up last week. So
yeah, and it's cool because you not have control of it, but you can work with that. You can work with that within yourself, and then you can watch the external start to show you different things, which is super empowering.
Right.
Yes.
Do something about it. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, I love this, Shannon. Yes, you're so welcome. Okay,
Hi.
Lisa, we can hear you.
Hi. Yes.
I know.
So
I saw
more
messages about Lisa.
Hi. I can hear you. I mean, you can hear me now, but I can't hear you. My phone is drunk. There's something wrong with it. I need to get a new one. So I'm not going to be able to hear you that good, but you can hear me. what I got out of this meditation is it was wonderful. I just felt I connected to God and the angels, my guardian angels, and which I've been slacking off a lot lately. I haven't been, meditating like I used to. I haven't done it in actually quite some time up until now. And I really felt such a big difference. It's telling me to release all my emotions and all my fears, bring it to the surface and let it go, forgive myself, let go of the past, which I have trouble doing from stuff that happened to me way long ago. And I need to let it go now. I mean, that was such a long time ago, and I need to forgive myself. And otherwise, if I don't, I'm not going to find peace. And it's saying I need to connect more to God and the angels, source, higher power. And I really need to let go of the past. That's my biggest problem. And the fear of, what's going to happen to me, constantly worrying all the time about everything. And I really need to let it go and trust more in God, source, and my angels. And that's what I got out of this meditation. Thank you. It was beautiful. I loved it.
I love this. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Now can you hear me, Lisa?
Yeah, my phone.
We don't know.
My
Maybe.
phone is broke, so I have to do something. You're not going to understand. I have to take off speaker, and then you'll be able to hear me, but I won't be able to hear you. But when I put it on speaker, you won't hear me, but I'll hear you. My phone is not working right. Sorry.
No worries, no worries, no worries. I was just gonna say, in response to what you said, it's so beautiful that self-forgiveness came up. I think this is huge when we're experiencing, when we've been experiencing a lot of emotions that we haven't been giving room to come up, and we haven't been giving that quiet space for them to be shown. A lot of times we'd be holding a lot of resentment towards ourselves. So I just wanted to say that was beautiful. And yes, thank you so much for being here. And yes, there will be a recording, everyone. I saw a comment about a recording. There's going to be a recording. I'm going to be sending it out to my email list and posting it in the Shine group. So if you're in those communities, if you're on my email list or you're in my Facebook group, you'll get access. And if you're not, you can reach out to me and I can help you get into one of those places so you can get access to the replay. Does anyone else have something like a takeaway that they want to share?
I would love to share.
Hi, Marty.
Hey, I heard two of us start to talk.
Oh,
mine has been a lot of fear. I paused in my business and I really have surrendered to letting go of the old way of living and doing my business and my life, which is why I haven't been here, because I've just been being with me to look at how I am doing it, finding my own space. So it was a lot of money fear showing up over the last, since I stopped. And then when we were in the heart space, I saw my mom and then my dad, because it's that lifetimes, the generations of money and poverty. And then it became my mom. And then as you went through more, it was me. So this evolution of all those people as we break the cycle. And there's a belief that was about don't get too big for your britches. So there's a place of owning it. So it was the message I was hearing is like, it's time to sit down in your britches. It's time to own them and claim it. And I was like, well, that's really interesting. So it just tied into that belief. It's time to sit down in my britches and really own my gifts here and what I'm here to do and deliver. So thank you for that. It was a really beautiful visual of the spiral going into the heart.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it turned into light. It was as you went on. I don't remember all of it, but I just kind of got this really bright light as it evolved. So,
yeah, because all of our emotions transmute into light in the end. You know what I mean? There's none that are like bad. It's all just a different shade of light. So I'm so grateful that you're here. And yeah, I think that the energy's calling us to pause right now. So I think it's perfect for you to just pause and really feel into what's present for you, you know?
Yes. So thank you for this today.
Yes, I love you.
I love you.
Okay, so who else was here? Lynn, I think you are.
So during meditation, I saw this little girl coming up to me. I thought it was me as a little girl, but then I asked her, "What's your name?" And she said, "My name is Loneliness." And she looked at me like with such a confidence and such a firmness. And then she didn't talk to me anymore, but it was more like telepathic. And then she said, "I have become harder, and that I need to soften up and let go of the feeling of having to be strong all the time, and breaking down the walls that I've built around my heart and not letting anyone in. And that this is actually stopping me from growing my business as well." So,
So powerful.
yeah.
Yeah, when we open up our heart, it's so vulnerable and scary, huh?
It is.
I feel you. But yeah, it's like the risk. Are we willing to take the risk? Because there's so much fulfillment in that opening and that softening, like your messenger shared with you. Yes, it's beautiful, Lynn. Thank you for sharing with us. Me too. I can relate to everyone. Yes, everyone can relate. Are you finished, Lynn?
Oh, yeah.
Finished. Does anyone else want to share anything?
I didn't see myself so much as I saw myself sitting across from patterns, waves of light, rather than an actual person.
Mm-hmm.
I've been feeling about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, my life that I thought I had been building for the last 8 years and successfully building completely got stripped away from me. And I still want to follow my passions in this world. And I have been feeling very stuck, like not knowing which way to go, if that makes sense. And and feeling like I couldn't do it on my own because I had a partner before that was doing it with me. And what came to me was, "You are enough. You are enough." And then the second message that came to me was, "Well, just do it. Don't wonder what way. Just start doing it." And like that, the feeling of after the just start doing it, the feeling afterwards was just like this energy of everything will fall exactly where it's supposed to. Like, don't wait until this is this way or this is that way. Just start doing it right now.
Wow.
So that was huge. And the "you are enough" thing was really intense. And it's funny because I this is my first time doing this sort of thing. I didn't even have Zoom before, right before you started. So I was just called to do this. And I'm so glad I was called to do this because it was exactly what I needed in this moment, in this day. And I'm so grateful for you. So thank you so much. I have so much love for you. That was so thank you.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you got Zoom and joined us. It's kind of annoying sometimes, Zoom, but it's so cool that we can all connect from like all over the world right now. and have this experience together.
I agree. I agree. It's very beautiful, and it shows the connection of everyone, and how poignant it is in this day, in this time.
Yes, well, I'm excited. Time to take action, it sounds like.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes, you're enough. This is a beautiful, powerful message.
Thank you for guiding us through this, Kate. I really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence. You're welcome. All right, is there anybody else that wants to share something? All of these are just so powerful. It's amazing. Just like, it wasn't even that much time, you know, we just created this little pocket, this little window, and we sat with an intention, and so much was revealed to all of us. So does anyone have anything else they want to share?
Hey, I would like to share mine. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
it's so interesting the way things like this pop up. Like, we are such powerful beings. I'm like kind of shivering a little bit. Okay, so mine, what I kept seeing was like a really, like a younger version of myself, a really shy woman. She kept kind of like turning her face to the side, and she would kind of like put her hands up like this and kind of look at me like super fearful and like shy, and it kind of gave me like the chill bumps. Let's see. One message I got was that you don't need to waste so much time doing things that you don't love. And yeah, so I'm just guessing it was in like an earlier version of me, kind of reaching out to me, but in the end she was kind of like consoling me and sending like positive affirmations and things. So I was like, that was nice.
Yes.
That was very interesting. Thank you for this, Kate. That was very
Yes, you're
refreshing.
welcome. I'm so
Breath
glad
work
you
is
could
so
join us.
powerful.
Yeah, just a little bit of breathing is amazing, how it can like move energy in the body.
Yes.
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm going to be infusing a lot of guided meditations and a lot of audios into the membership, my new Paradise membership that I have. And also, when you join the Paradise membership, you're going to get access to all the workshops that I'm teaching throughout the year. So the new paradigm goal setting is for January. There's going to be 4 workshops, and you can get those on their own. You can sign up for them if you go to kateandparadise.com/workshop, but you can also join the membership, get access to everything, and you can join the membership and then like quit anytime. Like you don't have to join for a certain amount of time. So I really want to do more guided meditations, more of like on SoundCloud. Those of you that follow me on SoundCloud, I love this platform because I can just record it and then you can listen like whenever. And so I'm going to be putting a lot of like, sort of like affirmation kind of audios and guided meditations and visualizations like this as well into that space, and sharing with everyone in the membership, and some videos as well that I've been creating. So I'm just going to pour a lot of sort of resources for you to kind of use whenever, because I'm kind of the kind of person that I don't like to have a lot on my calendar and a lot of like things scheduled. So it's nice to just like, if you want to kind of tune into like a certain topic or a certain vibration, you can just do it at any time. You don't have to like show up live like this. It's cool to do live, and we'll have the workshops live, and it will be just like this on Zoom. We'll do something, usually like an exercise or a training, and then we'll have like open Q&A. So we'll all be able to talk and communicate like this. So that's what will happen every Thursday with the workshops, but then there'll also be a bunch of resources that you can use anytime and just feel supported and uplifted and inspired and motivated, and have practices that help you tune in with your intuition and your inner guidance, and just really growing the practice of trusting yourself and trusting your connection to the divine, and having the bravery and the clarity to be able to ask for what you want and to receive support. Because I truly believe when we're in our feminine energy, when we're allowing ourselves to feel our emotions and we're allowing ourselves to be more in a being state and in an intuiting state, we are open to receiving more support, receiving more love, receiving more money, receiving more guidance. So all of this is available to you. I'm super passionate about it. I've been practicing it for many years, and I'm excited to just teach what I've learned and just to be on this journey with all of you. So I know a lot of you are part of the membership already, but for those of you that aren't, you can always join. Does Chris, I think someone's hand is raised here, possibly. Christine Anna.
Aloha. This is Christine.
Aloha. Hi.
Hi, coming to you from Big Island, Hawaii. Happy winter solstice and thank you. The only reason I'm not on video right now is because I'm watching out after a little one and respecting the households for that. So I was able to catch quite a bit of what you were gifting us today. And what I would like to share in my vulnerability is this place of belonging. And it comes through the sister wound. So that was a big place to see myself, allowing myself to be seen with sisterhood, that my little one loves to play nice in the sandbox and asks for peace and asks that we all get along, no matter what our culture, no matter what our background. So that was a really big piece, and it's a very raw and open and tender place of allowing us all to belong. But that was my piece, that my words and who I am and the medicine that I'm here to share deserves to be seen and heard by all. And so I'm really appreciating that message on this winter solstice as I move through this portal and understanding, which is funny because the video is off and yet I'm like, I need to be seen. That's why I prefaced it like that, because it's just so symbolic of like, okay, yeah, that's really important for this next leveling up, to expand the audience of who I speak to, and that it will be held in sacredness. The medicine that I hold will be honored and will be held in sacredness, and betrayal amongst others, specifically sisters, will neutralize for the greatest good of all.
Yes. Yes. It is done. It will neutralize. And it's really powerful as we step into our truth. A lot of the issues that we've had, or wounds that we've had, they sort of fall away because we're stepping into our power. So this is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you. Mahalo, Kate.
Yes. You're so welcome. Is there anybody else that wants to share? All right. So I think we can be complete. I feel really good about this experience. I was, like I said, I was crying all morning. I've been super tired, and I was it's crazy because I've been feeling super uninspired to do anything, but I was I was so excited about this experience, because I was this is exactly what I'm being invited to be raw and authentic about, that we don't always feel amazing all the time, and that's okay. And when we can allow ourselves to feel the ups and downs and the full range of emotion, we can allow ourselves to receive the messages that are here for us to experience right now. Katie said, my biggest takeaway after integrating here while listening to all of you. Let it be easy. That is my guide that unifies. Yes, exactly. Let it be easy. And even feeling the uncomfortable emotions and being present with them can become an easier and easier practice. And that's exactly what it is. It's a practice. And that is really my intention with all of you that choose to join me in the workshops and choose to join me in the membership, is to keep practicing this, practicing being present with ourselves, practicing being authentic, practicing showing up and doing what we say we want to do and following through, and practicing living in this present moment, because right here in this moment is where all the information that you need is. We're constantly like planning way ahead, but actually all we need to do is focus on what is my next aligned step right here in this moment. And then the next step will be revealed to us and we will be guided moving forward. So this is really the theme for January for me. And what I'm going to be infusing into the new paradigm goal setting experience. And I hope as many of you can join as possible, because it's going to be a really powerful way for us to come together as a collective and for us to start receiving more in 2023. So if you guys have questions about anything that I shared today, please let me know. I'll be sending the replay, like I said, to everyone on my email list. I'll be sharing in the free Shine group, the replay as well. If you can private message me and I can share you the replay with you. It'll probably be ready later today. And my intention for all of you as we move into this next year is that we can just stay present with our feelings. We can feel good about how we're feeling, even if it's tired or low or uninspired or whatever it is. And we can learn to love ourselves more. We can learn to trust ourselves more. And this will set us free. So I'm excited to embark into this next year with you. I feel so much power and joy coming through. I love all of you queens so much. This is Kate in Paradise. I see you shining.